Paul Landry, you won the giveaway from last week. Comic fam, we got Skeleton Key Comics joining us on the mic. It's gonna be a fun one. Buckle up. Another week, another list. Incredibly hot, trending comics, comic fam. This was a big week, and we have an Overstreet price guide advisor. How you feeling?
I am great, Tom. There are so many books on this list that are just exceeding expectations. A lot of things that we've been talking about and thinking about for a while that have finally hit their peaks. Is this the height? Is it going to keep climbing? We don't know, but you got to watch us every week to find out.
Hit that subscribe, slap the like button at the list at number 10, an idea that wasn't so bad. By Bad Idea Comics, we're talking about Pirate Queen, Yo Ho Ho, and a bottle of rum. 4-issue series coming out this week, $20 average sales, a high sale for a raw copy hitting $30.
Well, you know, this pirate isn't actually going to drink a bottle of rum because she's pregnant. What the heck? A twist in this one. This pirate who is trying to avenge so her unborn child doesn't have to. What an amazing story.
Her crew, her family, slaughtered, sent to the gallows courtesy of the Royal Navy, but saved because of civility and grace. This 4-issue revenge story is one I cannot get my hands on fast enough, purely because of the art we have written by Peter Milligan, beautifully drawn by Adam Polina, and these colors just impeccably done by Tamara Bonvillain. At the list, at number 9, Tony Fleece can't stay off this. Trish Forstner. We have Stray Dogs, a thank you variant.
Number 9 on the list, the Stray Dogs #1 cover gallery. This was a retailer thank you that surprised all of us this week by just showing up in our diamond orders. This book, out the gate, $115 average sales, $150 raw sales, and I know we're going to see 9.8s, but why would you ever get this book graded? The reason you want this book is because it shows every single cover art for all of these fantastic horror homages.
Now, I haven't had a chance to look at the pages yet, so I'm excited to see that this weekend, assuming that it's just packed full of multiple variants, the homages that were a banger in the community. This is a great opportunity to get your hands on them if you didn't get yours in time because they sold quick. Big thank you to Bird City Comics who donated this to the community, and we're going to do a giveaway of this It Stray Dogs variant. Let me know the last comic book that you read, and check out Bird City Comics website, birdcitycomics.com. They have a R.L. Stine Goosebumps homage to Stray Dogs.
This is awesome. This Goosebumps-inspired homage actually is the trade paperback. There are only 750 of them available, and it contains all issues 1 through 5. I have a very strong feeling they will be sold out pretty quickly.
Next on the list at number 8, holy hell, comic fam. Is this some of the first signs of the mutants being introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? We're talking Disney. We're talking Professor X. We have New Avengers number 7 from 2005 making the list again.
$20 average sales, $285 for a CGC 9.8. That's a 517% increase in copies sold this week for the first team appearance of the Illuminati.
This has been like a $20 book for quite a long time, largely because we have a few of the characters part of the team already introduced into the MCU, but also speculated. We're talking Black Panther, Doctor Strange, as well as Namor. However, this week, we're seeing this book get hot again because of another member, Charles Xavier. And after some rumors started circulating from seemingly trusted sources who have a pretty good track record, at least that's what's being reported across the internet, that there's going to be a reprisal of a mutant from the Fox lineup.
Now, whether that's James McAvoy or Sir Patrick Stewart, I think both would be fantastic to see here. We know that Multiverse of Madness is going to contain multiple timelines, multiple people from all over the MCU, and I think either of them would be absolutely fantastic. But I'd rather have Patrick Stewart.
We know that Wanda is likely going to be the leading villain in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. She's dabbling with the Darkhold, but this comic book being on the list means something a lot bigger than the Illuminati. It's bigger than Charles Xavier. This right here is a sign of mutants being introduced fully. I'm not talking Ursa Major, which moved the needle, got people hyped about mutants, because technically he's the first mutant introduced to the Disney Marvel MCU universe, right? 616. We're talking about a potential mutant appearance in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. If this happens, mutant keys are going to explode.
Absolutely, Tom. And the only thing that could be bigger than introducing the X-Men into the MCU is what this next book is pointing to. Number 7 on the list, Amazing Spider-Man 546. It's the first appearance of Mr. Negative, but he's not the reason why we're excited.
We're seeing $15 average sales, $200 sales for a CGC 9.8. This is a first appearance of not just Mr. Negative in full, it's also the first appearance of Jackpot. And I'll remind the community that we've chatted about this book multiple times. Hit the subscribe button. Back in November 2019, we saw teasers that Mr. Negative was going to be incorporated into the Spider-Verse 2 animation. Now, that was 2 years ago. What's happened since? Well, in 2020, we heard rumors of a Jackpot movie announcement. Well, this is Jackpot's first appearance in comics as well. And then you see Mr. Negative in the most recent Spider-Man game, led by Miles Morales, introducing him to the world at large.
Keep an eye out for the book market variant that says not for resale on the cover. There was a recent sale of a 9.6 for $600, and that may be undervalued considering how scarce this book is.
We're talking a 600% increase in copies sold after the recent Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Tom Holland running through what appears to be a food bank. Could this be New York's largest philanthropic organization helping the needy, the homeless? Could this be the organization owned and run by Mr. Negative?
Well, Tom, we did not have to wait very long for this rumor to be substantiated because there is a set photo of a large white truck that happens to have the word Feast, which is the name of the organization emblazoned on the back.
We know that Mr. Negative has ties to a lot of characters. Aunt May has worked at this food bank. Eddie Brock has frequented there. But also a character that we have been waiting to see ties to. Movie after movie, month after month, blue chip after blue chip purchase, the largest modern blue chip key to emerge in the last year in comic history. Miles Morales has worked at Feast. This right here means we have the first thread connection to Miles Morales. Hot damn, comic fam, what a great time to be alive.
Number 6 on the list, Avengers Forever #1. This book is selling solidly for $10. Now, we all know that Marvel recently had a birthday, and they made an announcement there is going to be a war. There is going to be a new big event, and a lot of signs are pointing towards this book as a catalyst.
We have an 833% increase in copies sold in the last 7 days. Happy birthday, Marvel! Glad you were born. We have a plethora of new titles being solicited that's going to start at the end of this year and go clear into 2022, starting with Devil's Reign. Mayor Fisk, he outlawed superheroes, and he's got the Thunderbolts to take down multiple members of the Avengers, as well as the Fantastic Four. Next is Avengers Forever. Sound familiar? This story sounds like they're going to be incorporating other multiverse characters to bring them into what is going to be a fracturing timeline. Kang coming?
So we've already got a Kang mini-series, but this sounds like he's going to be sticking around for a while because there's a new title called Timeless, where Kang is going to protect the timeline he has worked so hard to perfect.
Timeless is where the event begins. This is where it's going to start causing some turbulence for our heroes, specifically Wolverine. He's about to live through, possibly die through the second Krakoa age. Well, yes, Jonathan Hickman's writings are going to be continued with the 10 lives and 10 deaths of Logan, the Wolverine. We also have She-Hulk going back, grabbing the books and starting to practice law again, getting her own series. We also have Dan Slott's Fantastic Four Reckoning War.
So a saga 15 years in the making, and they even have the audacity to invoke the name of Secret War. I guess we're finally going to get our day of reckoning for what happened in the original Secret Wars.
Last on the timeline is Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur coming back, getting ready to cause some Marvel team-ups. Comic fam, which one of these are you most hyped about? And let's welcome Sammy from Skeleton Key Comics to the show.
Hey, it's so awesome to be here.
Thanks for joining us. Hit him with number 5.
All right, so I'm super excited about number 5. This is Spider-Man 1 from 2012. This is a limited series going for average sales of $20, and a CGC 9.8 right now is going for $220. The most exciting thing about this book is that this is the first time that Peter Parker and Miles Morales meet briefly.
Absolutely. You know, I noticed if you're patient on auction, it'll hit 150. You made a fun comparison to a key book you keep bringing up on our Whatnot show over at Whatnot Comics on Instagram, one of your favorite X-Men pickups.
Absolutely. X-Men 282, where you see Bishop on the cover and then a tease of him on the inside. So this is that book does basically the same thing, where you see them on the cover and then on the back page you see them kicking it on the pavement, like checking each other out a little bit.
It's only the one appearance in the book, so although it's brief, it does happen. An increase of 1,380% in copies sold in 1 week. Miles' hype is real. The community had to just be reminded that this book exists. I think it's undervalued, and there's a bunch of variants.
Now, we know that there is a super scarce newsstand variant out there. There's only one on eBay right now, and it's for sale for $300.
Then there's also the Humberto Ramos variant. It's a 1 in 30, selling for a little bit less than I expected, hitting the $30 to $50 average sales.
You know, that Ramos does seem really low. And you know what else seems really low is the Sarah Pichelli 1 in 100 is hitting an average high of $100. And then next up is my favorite printing, the second printing, where they are wearing their masks, doing what Spideys do. It's the same cover as cover A, but it is the second printing with their mask on, hitting an average high of $35.
I think this one is way cooler than the cover A. The faces look a little too digital on cover A. This one is the one that I'm looking at. I think it's undervalued.
Oh, absolutely.
Comic fam, if you want to support what we do, hit the link in the description or go to Comictom101.com. Join the mystery mail call. Give me an excuse to send you comics every month. One per box this month. Trial of Magneto. Logan cover done by the art director of God of War, Raph Grassetti. Virgins going out at random, courtesy of Whatnot Comics, making it possible. This is a dual exclusive. Sammy, what do you think?
I think it's absolutely amazing. You've got the Whatnot Comictom collab. You didn't ask for it. They brought it to you anyways. Looks so good. And as a gamer, I think the art is absolutely amazing. Read the book. The story, of course, is really good. And you definitely have to get it this month.
Comictom101.com. We appreciate you, Whatnot Comics. And let's chat about some Sinister Six at number 4.
Number 4 on the list, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 337.
$18 average sales.
And then it has a high sale of $275 CGC 98.
You could have gotten this book for $100 a little over a month ago. I think this is an underrated book because people don't realize that the Sinister Six is not a regular villains team up that happens in the Spidey mythos.
Yeah, it's so true. And you know what? I think that the Spidey No Way Home, all those like little fun Easter eggs really like had us saying like, oh my gosh, oh snap, like the Sinister Six. So I think this is amazing. And for those of you that don't know about the importance of the appearance in this book, you might want to take a seat because this is the second time we see the Sinister Six together as a group since the Silver Age.
Which is nuts because this is like 1990s. This is Eric Larson. This is fairly recent. I'm kind of dating myself here because it's like 30 years old. However, an increase of 1,400% in the last 7 days. I suspect it's because of how high Amazing Spider-Man Annual 1 has gone. This is the next best bet.
Absolutely. It's so awesome seeing the Sinister Six on the trending 10. Finally getting the heat it deserves. I'm a little biased because, you know, I love collecting 90s books, so of course I have this in my 90s PC. Nice. Killer Eric Larson does amazing appearance of the Sinister Six. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for having me on the Trending 10. This was so much fun. And everyone that's watching, you can find me on Instagram under Skeleton Key Comics.
We do a show on Whatnot Comics every week, and we do sales on Whatnot Comics as well. So come follow us there. We appreciate you being here. At the list at number 3, NOCTERRA number 1, a book we were talking about 2 weeks ago because Bleeding Cool broke the news that there was rumblings that this may be seeing a television soon. Scott Snyder just confirmed a TV deal has been reached, causing an increase of copies sold of 306%. We're seeing $20 average sales and a new high sale for a CGC 9.8 of $166.
Valentina is driving survivors through the dark wasteland and shining bright lights protecting them from these evil monsters.
The night takes over, animals and humans being transformed into hideous, grotesque creatures. This comic book was prime to become adapted to the screen. Ryan and I, Fire Guy Ryan,
started the fire!
we're just chatting a couple days ago prior to this announcement that we needed to do a breakdown on our next podcast, so stay tuned for that. And then the news dropped. There are so many variants to issue number 1. We're going to save some time. Go to Key Collector Comics, the best comic app in existence. You would have been notified about the rumors 2 weeks ago. You would have gotten ahead of this spike. Also, you will be able to categorize your books and take a look at all of the variants. There's over 14 of them for this issue.
Use code TOM101 for 2 free weeks and you help the show out. Also, a great way to check out number 2 on the list is look at your Key Collector app. We have STARSLAYER number 2, which is the first full appearance of the Rocketeer.
This is a dollar bin book, man.
Oh, it totally is. These early Pacific Comics books, this Mike Grell run has a ton of keys that people who aren't in the know will just totally gloss over.
You gotta be on the lookout for this one, comic fam. We're talking $40 average sales, highs of $550 for a CGC 9.8. Listings at around $450 and an increase of copies sold of 2,200% this week after announcements confirming a Rocketeer movie in development for Disney Plus, attaching producer and possibly lead actor David O. We're talking about a classically trained stage actor. We're talking about someone who got a scholarship for excellence. We're talking about someone who graduated from the Academy of Music and Arts. This guy is a beast.
David O's acting credits include Interstellar, and he even played Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This guy is a great actor, and I'm really excited to see how he will take this character.
All right, we are talking about multiple keys in the STARSLAYER run. This is one of those runs that dealers know because no one cares about STARSLAYER, but there are a odd amount of unique key appearances. Let's run through them. Issue number 1 is the first appearance of STARSLAYER, but we also get an ad for the Rocketeer, the first time it was ever printed in a comic book. Obviously, the second issue, making the list today, is the first full appearance of the Rocketeer in a short story in the comic. Issue number 3 marks the second appearance. All right, then we have issue number 4, which is a 2-page advertisement for Gru the Wanderer. This is considered like the second appearance in advertisement, and it's worth a little bit of money.
STARSLAYER number 5 features the second appearance of Gru, an actual 5-page story drawn by Sergio Aragones. But we're not done there. Number 10 is the first full appearance of Grimjack. This is a roundly ignored run. If you have a STARSLAYER run, there are so many major keys of characters that aren't STARSLAYER.
And Grimjack is a character we've talked about 3 times in the last 2 years because the Russo brothers have mentioned that they were intending of doing a Grimjack narrative, bringing it to the screen, and then in 2020 saying again that they're still actively doing it and the screenplay was done. Comic fam, hit the subscribe, slap the like button. Let me know what you think about this list. Let me know what you're reading. Don't forget we're doing a giveaway today, and Russ hit him with the number 1 trending video in the multiverse.
Number 1 on the list, Werewolf by Night, number 1. Now, this is the October 2020 release, the one from last year. We're seeing $25 average sales and $400 for a CGC 9.8 for the first appearance of the Jake Gomez Werewolf by Night.
Now, this is a bit different than Jack Russell, Bronze Age Werewolf by Night. This creature comes to fruition after his emotions play a role. This is a character who controls how he becomes a werewolf with the help of music. He has a playlist. And this comparison to Bruce Banner is only more fitting because issue number 1 is indeed an homage to Incredible Hulk number 1.
2,467% increase because we have news that Marvel is planning to make a Halloween special for next year. We also know that they have released casting information and they are looking for a Hispanic actor. This is leading some people to speculate that they may very well feature Werewolf by Night.
Now, it's still unconfirmed if Jake Gomez is going to be the Werewolf by Night, but it's not stopping the community from scooping this book up. Comic fam, have a great weekend as always.
Keep responsible.
Enough said. Comic fam, we got 2 other videos for you to check out. Either one, you can watch whichever one you want. I hope you enjoy them. We made them for you. Have a great week.